Looks like we are getting a first-hand experience on AMD's newest GPU, more specifically the PowerColor RX 7600 XT Hellhound. Hello and welcome back again to Junkyard Summit, and today we are taking a look at the brand new card from AMD and PowerColor. And if you read the specs, you'll notice immediately that this card is pretty much similar to its younger sibling, the RX 7600, but with two main differences. First is the slightly higher clock, while the more significant one is the doubling of its VRAM. And this changes bumps the actual TDP from 165 watts to 190 watts. But besides that, we get the same compute units, stream processors, memory bus, same amount of infinity cache, and both supports AV1 encoding. While this 16GB VRAM is a welcome addition, but based from my previous experience, especially with these mid-range type of cards, you'll reach the GPU's peak computing power first before utilizing its VRAM at full capacity. For the actual PowerColor card, this Hellhound model is a 2-slot card with dimensions of 220 by 133 by 45 mm. It is refreshing to see a dual fan setup amidst of a sea of cards with huge cooler designs. The GPU is being cooled via its aluminum heatsinks with 6 heat pipes and 2 100mm fan, while utilizing PowerColor's intelligent fan controller for efficient cooling yet quiet fan operation. The card's fan illuminates but lacks RGB support, and instead, it can be cycled between two colors, ice blue and amethyst purple, or completely turn it off by toggling its physical switch. It also features a dual BIOS chip, an OC mode, and silent mode, with the main difference of lower power target for the latter. Output is fairly standard, offering 3 DisplayPort 2.1 and 1 HDMI 2.1 port. Right now, we don't have a definite price point for local purchase, but global MSRP is at $329. But if we are basing it with local GPU prices, expect that this card would retail for around 20 to 22k PHP. For today's testing, this card is gonna get paired with an Intel Core i7-12700K on Asus ROG Strix Z690G with 32 gigs of DDR5 memory from Kingston. All testings are done on the OC BIOS, but no manual overclocking was done to this card. And with that, let us check some of the benchmarks. With the results out, I am quite surprised that this card almost competes with the RTX 3060 Ti, given that this is just a slightly overclocked RX 7600 with extra memory. The card's claim of solid 1080p gaming is also true, with most of my test results running over 100 FPS. Ray tracing has also improved, wherein you can comfortably run 60 FPS on a ray tracing medium setting. But if it still struggles, you could always turn on FSR for some extra performance. And actually, we are at this point wherein both NVIDIA and AMD's upscaling techniques delivers fantastic results. And finally, I still want to see on how this card would fare against its older RX 6600 XT, or how close this card is against the RTX 4060, given that they have a pretty similar price point. Reported power draw is at 192 watts, not the most efficient in my opinion, and this is around 30 watts more as compared to the slightly stronger RTX 4060 Ti. As for PowerColor's approach in this card, I am glad that they still push 2 fan models with their Hellhound series. While not a compact card, but this should be able to fit in a lot of smaller cases. I don't get the point on why card manufacturers would slap in huge chunky heatsinks on lower power cards that doesn't require that much cooling. Fan noise are barely noticeable, while keeping the card under 70 degrees Celsius even when under load on my open test bench. You should see a rise of around 5 to 10 degrees Celsius once installed in a case, but that should still be within operating temperature. The lack of RGB options might be a turn off for some, but personally I don't mind, as I rarely install RGB softwares, and the idea of a toggable physical switch for the LED is actually a better option for me. I also do like its blackout design wherein even the PCIe bracket is painted in black. And if there's gonna be one or two complaints for this card, it would be the slight coil whine that this card experiences under load. I'm not exactly sure why, but most of my AMD cards are the only ones that suffer from noticeable coil whines. It is not a deal breaker for me, but it might be for some. Besides that, the launch price is also something that doesn't sit well with me. I was hoping that this card would only cost around 18,000 Philippine peso or roughly close to the original RX 7600 pricing. But given the current GPU prices, I am expecting it to be somewhere around 22,000 Philippine peso. But if you are looking for a brand new video card, then the PowerColor RX 7600 XT is something that you should consider, especially if you are looking for a shorter card that would fit your smaller case. So that's it for today. What are your thoughts on this card, and do you think that 16 gig should be the norm, especially to this mid-tier range of graphics card? Let me know down in the comment section, and once again, this is Brain of Junkyard Summit. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.